Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how to color grade your log footage and also achieve a cinematic look with a simple Note 3. Now this is gonna be a kind of little bit of a long video, so if you're in a hurry, I'll leave timestamp in the video so you just can skip to where you want to be. And if you're not in a hurry and just enjoy the show, grab a cup of coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, right here I have 4 scenes. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 scenes, and one is exterior, one is interior, and another one exterior. But this one with absurd amount of lighting, like this is crazy, and also an interior with everything tungsten light. So we're gonna start from the first one. Right at the beginning, we have our node right here, and then we can also adjust the size of our nodes over here, so you can see. I like my node small so I can see where everything is. So right now, I'm gonna create a few nodes. I'm gonna hit OS 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go with 5, and then the first one we're gonna name it noise reduction. I cannot spell. Noise reduction. And after noise reduction is going to be our white balance, and our after white balance is going to be our brightness, and after brightness is going to be contrast, and after contrast is going to be our look. Let's probably look here and there a little bit. And right at the final node, this is going to be our color space transform. Let's call it CST. And then we can clean up node graph, and you can also arrange your node graph to how you like to. And because this is the color page, you can have a lot of fun in the color page. Whether it's experimental, it's for fun, it's for job, it's for professional thing, you can do anything here. It's like a big sandbox. All right. How I like to arrange my nodes is I like to put my noise reduction right here at the corner. I like to put my CST right at the corner right here. So with a glance, I know I have noise reduction node, I have CST node, and right here, this is my primary nodes and also my gray node right here. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna transform our log footage back to Rec 709. So we're gonna go here. The color space transform, we're gonna click and drop here at our CST, and then input color space is going to be Panasonic V gamut. Input gamma is going to be Panasonic V-Log. Output color space Rec 709. Output gamma 2.4. So right out of the bat, you can see our image just came to life immediately. We can hit Ctrl D to see before and after applying. Stupid mosquito, go away. Ctrl D to see our color space transform, like what it does to our image. So right out of the bat, it looks pretty good already. And by the way guys, so if you shot open footage with one camera and every settings are the same, what you can do is after you set up your Note 3, you can select the rest of your footage by clicking this, and then we can also shift and then click the last one to select all of them, and then middle click our first scene right here. Just middle click, and we just grab our Note 3 from our first scene and paste it on all our other scene. And you can see right now every scene has been color transformed back to Rec 709. Now in this scene we shot outdoor, and it is kinda cloudy day at the time, so it looks kinda gloomy right now. So what we can do is we can go to the brightness. We're gonna bump up the brightness a little bit. Okay, let's go to brightness, we'll go to HDR color wheel, and then at the global right here, we're gonna bump the exposure up just a little bit. All right, until it look not so gloomy. You can just eyeball it and then Control D to see before and after. You can eyeball everything in the color page, by the way. The scope here, the waveform scope here, is just for reference. It's telling you if your highlight is clipped or your shadow is clipped. No, it's just purely for reference. So this is the brightness. It looks pretty good already. You can hear my dog barking. The brightness is pretty good already. White balance. Now, because we shot this outdoor and my camera is set to daylight balance, so I don't need to worry about our white balance for now. And also, because we just burn up our image, and every time you brighten up an image artificially, you're gonna introduce some noise into the image. So let's zoom in. And also, we are currently working on a 1080p footage, so when we zoom in, it's gonna be a little bit blurred. This is also a proxy file, so it's gonna look a little bit muddy. And we zoom in here, we can see a little bit of bending in the trees, in the hair, in the shirt. So we wanna do some noise reduction. Okay, so I have a no-brain settings for noise reduction, and I'm gonna show it guys to you. It's just really no-brainer. Okay, you're gonna click on our noise reduction node, and we're gonna go to our noise reduction effect, motion effects, and then here temporal noise reduction that is set to frame 1, and luma to set it to 5, and spatial threshold just set it to 5. Now we can zoom in, zoom back in, and see what it does. We can Control D and see before and after. You can see a lot of noise has been removed. The digital meh also has been removed. It just makes the whole image a little bit more smoother. So right now we can play back just to see, like, it looks pretty decent after the noise reduction. Oh yeah. Alright, and after that, let's give it a little bit of contrast. Now, I see a lot of YouTube tutorials that they like to, do their contrast in the curve. Like, they like to, lower the highlights. They like to, bump the shadow. And then they like to create a, S curve like this. No, maybe like this, a little bit more S curve like this. Now this method is good, but you kind of need a lot more experience to know what curves actually does to your image. So for my example, I'm gonna give it a real easy fix. Let's just go to our color wheels right here. There's a contrast tab right here. We're just gonna bump it up a little bit, like 0.1. Let's go with 0.1, and then we're gonna Control D and see before and after. 0.1 is actually pretty good already. Let's point out a little bit more, 0.15. 0.15 also looks pretty nice. Okay. And after that, we're gonna pivot it. We're gonna pivot the contrast a little bit, okay? We're gonna bump the pivot a little bit up so that we get our highlights back a little bit. You can see the whole thing is kind of moving down, because when you're applying contrast, it is actually stretching the highlights and the shadows apart. So pivot is just like moving these two stretches up and down. I think right there is good. Oh yeah, that right there is good. It's pretty good already. So right here, next for the look, we can give it some look. We can go to our primary wheels, and then we can introduce a little blue into our shadow, which is our lift right here. Just click right here, and then we're gonna move ever so slightly into the blue area. You can see, there you go. And we can Control D to see before and after. Oh, we are making a huge difference already. Let's give it a little more. There's times to be greedy, and it is now. A little bit more blue into the shadow. Oh my god, everything looks good already. Alright. Let's give it a playback. Look, oh, everything is so nice. Plus the slow motion. I also shot this in 120 frames per second. So everything looks already very nice. And what we also can do is we can create a node after our CST. That's Alt S. And then we can go to Film Look Creator, Let's drag and drop this into our last node right here, and bam, and you can see something happened to our image. But what is it? We're gonna select our last node. We're gonna Control D and see what it does, what it did to our image. So Control D, you can see, kind of apply a little bit of bleach filter on top of our image. We can play it back to see. Oh yeah, it's a little bit too bright actually. When I shoot this footage, the sky just blown out, you know, flat blown out. So right here we can change our preset to, you know, default 35mm, and 35mm is actually like full frame for our camera. 35mm, and then we can actually tone this down a little bit, color blend to, you know, 0.3 or 0.5. And also our effect blend to 0.4. You can zoom in and see there's actually, you know, grain. If we have our effects blend at 1, and then we can see everything right here, because, you know, there's grain, there's halation, and that is because when we scroll down, there's a lot of stuff that Film Look Creator has to activate or enable by default. So when we go to split tone, you can see split tone right here is not enabled, but vignette is enabled. We can go to fit and see. We can turn this vignette on and off and see what it does to our image. Halation also. Bloom. Grain. So yeah, grain is, you know, putting grain in our image. So we zoom in right here, we can see there's grain all over. We're gonna turn this on and off to, you know, to your preference. So if you like to keep your grain, you can keep your grain. So if you think it's too much, we can go back here at effect blend. We can turn this a little bit down just to, you know, 0.5. And 0.5 is good. The fit, and there's also film look. We can change the core look to, you know, Rochester to something that you like. Vintage. Oh, vintage looks pretty good actually. And then we can tone this down a little bit. Film look blend, just a little bit at 0.5 over there. You can keep it at 1. It is purely subjective, purely personal preference. So whatever floats your boat, just use whatever. All right, next. So right now we're at our second scene, and we have our footage right here, and right off the bat you can see we get our log footage convert back to Rec 709, but right now we are a little bit underexposed. So we're gonna go to the brightness, we're gonna go to HDR, and we're gonna increase the exposure. We're gonna increase the exposure to around 896, around here looks pretty good. 896. We don't want it to reach 1023 because we don't want to overexpose our image. So 896 is pretty good. Like, it gives us plenty of room to work with right here. Now, so we just brighten up our image, and we want to zoom in and look for if there are any noise that we need to remove. So let's zoom into our friend right here. This is actually my wife and our friend. We're just eating hot pot in our place. We can just zoom in to her face and see we actually have a little bit of chroma noise right at her face over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the noise reduction, and let's use our no-brainer settings again. Let's go to motion effect, frame 1, luma 5, partial threshold 5. And right off the bat you can see all of the noise on her face has been, you know, smoothened out. We can also Control D to see before and after. If you think it's a little bit too smooth out, we can, you know, turn down the threshold a little bit. We can go to, you know, luma trash 3. Okay, 3 is actually pretty good already. Let's see 2. Okay, 2, we can see the noise is coming back. 3 is pretty good. Let's go 4. 4 is Good. 3 is good, 4 is good. And maybe, 5 is a little bit too much. All right, we're gonna keep it at 4 with the noise reduction. It looks pretty fine. So let's go back to fit. Play back a little bit. Looks pretty nice already. So white balance, I don't think we need to touch anything about the white balance because my house, our lights is actually daylight balance, so I don't really need to change the white balance for this one. Brightness, we just had our brightness bump up a little bit, and right now we go to the contrast. Okay, let's go to contrast. The same method, go to our color wheels. We're gonna bump up the contrast to maybe 0.1. We can see the black inner hair is getting a little bit more richer. We can Control D and see before and after. Oh yeah, it looks way better. Let's bump up a little bit more and see how it looks. 0.15 looks actually pretty good. So the contrast is actually also personal preference. It's very subjective. Some people like their image to be not so contrasty, but some people, they really like big contrast. But some people like, less contrast, a little bit like a dreamy look. Like you can turn down your contrast, and that's a little bit of dreamy look. After you got contrast down, you can bump up your saturation. Also, like using colors to separate the subjects in your image. This is also color contrast. You can also use this as a method. So right now we're just gonna reset our saturation, and then we're gonna bump up our contrast because sometimes I like my image to have a little bit of a contrast. And after that, we're gonna pivot it. We're gonna pivot to bring back our highlights a little bit because I see here it's kind of a little bit too much of a contrast. So I'm gonna pivot it down. I want to keep my contrast and just bring the highlights back down a little bit and see before and after. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good already. So right here, just done with our contrast. We can give it a little bit of look. Let's go to our shadow, which is our leaf, and then we're gonna put a little bit blue into our shadow. Green will do too, something like the matrix. A little bit of green or a little bit of blue. Blue actually looks pretty good. Let's try put a little bit of warmth into the shadow. Oh no, it does not look good. The blue actually looks pretty good actually. A little bit of blue in the shadow. Let's see before and after. Oh my god, it looks so good already. Let's apply our film look creator actually low. Let's move our CST back a little bit and Control S. Film look creator, drag and drop it in here. And then, wow, would you see that something just changed? I think it looks pretty good. Okay, let's go to our default 35 mil. Let's have our color blend back down a little bit, 0.5 before and after. Control D before and after. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, we can also, click here and we can also pick cinematic. And you can turn this down just a little bit more. Film look blend. Turn this down a little bit more. See before and after. Oh yeah, cinematic. Especially with the top and bottom blankings. That's actually pretty good. I need to change my battery again. Oh my god, I keep running out of battery. I don't know why. Okay, don't care. It can record. It can still record. Let's just let it record. 26 minutes. Alright. Right, for our next scene, let's go to our next scene. Alright, this scene is me and my wife. We went out and we're gonna have a little bit of a vlog day. At the time, it's already towards sunset, so I'm actually losing a lot of light, and the whole image is just very close to sunset color. So right now, I want to go here and bring up my brightness. Let's go to HDR, global exposure. Let's bring this up to 896 to right around this line right here. It's like a 0.4. You can kind of eyeball it. right here to see. I think right here is good. And this brightness is good, 0.5 stops. After I bumped up my brightness, let's go to our noise reduction. So we zoom into her dress right here. We can see there's a lot of noise on her dress. So let's go to our noise settings, noise reduction, and let's give it a no-brainer noise reduction. Let's go 5. Special threshold 5. And oh my god, see, everything is gone. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, so let's zoom out and see how it does. It actually looks pretty good already. So white balance, because this is like very close to sunset, so everything look kind of warm, and I wanna tone it back a little bit just to have it look like a little bit more daylight. Right here, our temperature, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's have it back to daylight color. I think right here is good. It's good. Let's Control D and see before and after. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. We can also give it a little bit more brightness. Let's bump it up a little bit. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, we're done with our white balance. Now let's go to our contrast. For our color wheel, let's just give it a little bit of contrast. We don't need too much right here because we already have a lot of contrast in the image. Let's go to 0.1 and see before and after. Oh my god, 0.1 is actually pretty good already. Okay, let's pivot it a little bit. Oh, we can actually go brighter after with our pivot. Okay, for our look, I actually wanna bring our attention in the middle, so I'm gonna add a vignette. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna move this tree up here, and I will look over here, and let's add a power window, circle power window. We wanna feather it out like very much. Let me feather it out a little bit more. Okay. After we got our power window set, let's right click here and then add node and add outside. This is our outside node. Right here at the outside node, select this outside node. Let's go back to feet, and then HDR. We wanna make our edge darker, so let's bring down our brightness right here to about 1 stop. I think let's go like 1 stop. Okay. Let's Control D and see before and after. It looks pretty good actually. Now you can tell the difference, like there is a mask over. So we can go back to our look. Again, let's give it a bigger feathering. Oh yeah, that looks good. After darkening the edges, I also want to brighten up my subject a little bit. I'm gonna go to look. I'm gonna go to add node, and I'm gonna add a parallel node. So don't worry, it's not confusing. So right here we have our contrast node. After our contrast, we have 2 nodes that is taking the image right here, and we have split into 2. We have our look right here going in the mixer node and then darken it. Okay, so right here we're gonna create another power window. So we got our power window, put it back, put it right here. That's our power window. We have it a little bit bigger, it doesn't matter. Right here at the top of our body, and we can go on the track. We're gonna track this a little bit, track back and forth. We're gonna select our node. We're gonna go to our color wheel and we're gonna bring up the highlights. Okay, right here is good. Okay, let's see before and after. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Let's give it a playback and see. Everything looks fine. Like we're not seeing the mask moving around. So let's give it a final touch. This time we're not giving a film look creator. This time we're gonna create a new node, Alt S, and then we're gonna give it we're gonna add a glow, and then composite type, we're gonna hit it to soft light. We can hit Control D and see what it does to our image. pretty good already. And go up here and we can turn shrine threshold down. Actually, we can turn the shrine threshold down. Okay, right here is pretty good actually. Shrine threshold down right here is pretty good. And then we're not done. We're gonna go down here, the global blend. You wanna turn this down a little bit. Turn this down just so teeny touch. 0.2. Let's see 0.2, and then before and after. We can also come back here, add node, add another parallel node, and then we can give this, you know, another look. We can have our shadows. Let's give it a little bit blue to into our shadows here. Oh my god. Now everything is purely personal preference. If we can start with a simple node tree and then we can build our way up to where you want it to be. It is a visual playground. Like just do anything you think might fit. Alright, so this is our final image. It looks pretty good. You know, we can start with a simple node tree and then build our way up if we want to here. Like if you want to make adjustment to a certain part of the image, increase parallel nodes. So if you want to learn more about nodes, you can check out my video right here where I talk about color nodes and also layer nodes, parallel nodes. I talk about everything over here. Check that video out if you got more time. We're going into our final scene, which is our interior tungsten. This is a nightmare for wedding photographers and videographers. The light is going crazy in the interior lighting. So what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do next. So when you're at this kind of scene, like you're indoor and all the lights are tungsten light or other colors, you may be other colors, like, oh yeah, there are other colors of light. At first glance, we know our colors are fucked. So we're gonna go to our white balance. We're gonna tone it back. We're gonna tone it way back until we see the perfect lighting. Now, one way to see the perfect white balance is by looking at the skin tone right here. So right now it looks pretty good already. So we can also play it around to, you know, to have it a little bit more extreme to see if everything is where it should be. So obviously this is a little bit too blue. Get tone it back a little bit. I think right here is good. We can also, you know, give it a little bit of tungsten light back in. So we can turn it back a little bit to show that this is a tungsten light. And then we also have our, you know, skin tone ready. So this is my way of, you know, adjusting white balance, is to look at the skin tone and put the skin tone to where it's supposed to be. Right now I think it looks decent already. Alright, so next step, you want to go to our brightness. We actually want to brighten this up a little bit. So let's go to HDR, our global exposure. Let's bump it up a little bit. Just a little bit. I think just a little bit is good. It's enough. It's a 0.1 x 0.1 stop. Control D to switch the node on and off to see the difference. Right now it looks pretty good. Let's try the bottom a little bit more to see how it looks. Okay, obviously right at this point, you know, the image is bright enough to look still decent. We look down here, we have clipping highlights, which is, no, maybe our lights over here. We can go to here and display qualifier focus. And we can see when we put our qualifier right here, then we can see, and it's gonna show that in the waveform that this part is actually clipping, but our face is, you know, at the, you can say it's at a good exposure. Now plates is also almost clipping. It's actually clipping already. Now skin tone are good. These parts are good. The forehead right here is almost clipping. We can see that a lot of stuff is clipping. Why do I look so black? Why do I look so black? Oh my god. I ran out of battery. Hold on. Everything is running out of battery. Okay, we're live. Both recording. Alright guys, just got back from dinner. I left my lights charging for a little bit, few hours. And right now, my lights are plugged into the socket and into the power bank. And yeah, let's continue. Alright, where was I? Okay, we just bring up our image, and right now we wanna, again check for noises. Okay, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in right here. We can see there's plenty of noises right here, especially color noise. So if you look carefully right here, there's a little bit of color noise, like purple, green. I don't know, you still can see it after the YouTube compression, but right now there is a little bit of, digital vomit somewhere here, or right here, and also right here. So we're gonna denoise our image. Now let's go to the noise reduction, motion effects. Let's give it our no-brainer settings, Luma at 5 and then special at 5. Alright, oh shit, everything looks pretty good already. Just kinda like by looking at it as a whole. When we zoom in, let's see. Control D to see before and after. So we obviously got rid of some noises right here, and also in the dark part. Oh yeah, we got rid of most of the noises around the lights. Right now that we got our noise removed, I actually want to turn my brightness down just a little bit because everything is kind of too bright right now and almost no space for any more adjustment. So I'm going to go to the brightness right here into my HDR, and it's global. Let's turn it back down a little bit. I think that's about fine with the contrast. And because this is indoor, we have light shining from different directions, so there are places that is not shined by the lights, are very dark, and there are places that shine by the light and it is very bright. So instead of giving it more contrast, I want to take away a little bit of contrast. Okay, just let my image look a little bit more, not too much of a, not too jarring, to put it that. So let's go to contrast, color wheel, and we're gonna take our contrast down just a little bit. 0.8 looks pretty good. Before, oh my god, okay, everything looks pretty good right now because it just took away some contrast. You can see that the light here just got a little bit better, and the black is not too black anymore. I think we can actually go back down just a teeny bit more. Let's see before and after. Looks pretty good because we take away our contrast and we are losing a lot of blacks right here. So I'm gonna take my shadow down just a little bit more. I want to have a little bit more black in my image. Let's take it down a little bit. Right here is good, like we're at the 128 part, so everything is not deep black. By the way, as I said, everything you change in the color page or however you want to tweak your image to be, everything is according to your personal preference. So if you like it, you can keep it, and if you don't like it, you can make it the way that you want it to be. Just make my image darker. Actually, I'm just making my shadows a little bit darker, but I want keep my midtones up. So let's bring back my midtones a little bit. Alright, there is good. Now for the look, we can go in and give it a simple look. Let's pull our shadow down to, let's give a little bit blue into our shadows. A little bit cyan is good. A little bit of cyan. All right, a little cyan. Let's go before and after. And we want to give our skin tone back its color. Let's go to gain. Let's give it a little bit of a yellow. Then we can go before and after. Yeah, it looks pretty good already. Oh yeah, and by the way, when I shot this, I was using a black mist filter, and that is why when you look at the lights here, it's kind of blooming, and we're not adding any glows effects right here. It's kind of blooming. Let's see that. You can give it a playback and see how it looks. Yep, everything looks fine. And one thing we can add here is we're gonna create another node here. Add node, add serial node, and this time we're gonna add vignette, VIG. Gonna add a vignette right here. This is looking pretty extreme right now. We can increase the softness, and then we can increase the size here. See before and after. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. Give it a name. Vignette. So yeah, that's our final look. So yeah guys, that's it for the video. This one is kind of a long one. I choose to test out this video like a kind of editing with me type of vibe. So you can just sit back, grab a coffee, and just have fun with me. So you can also open your own DaVinci Resolve, try it out yourself. The color page is a playground. You can do whatever you want, whatever you like. So yeah, so if you guys find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing for more DaVinci Resolve tutorial. I'll be posting regularly, and also I'm still working on Discord server. Or maybe you guys would like a Reddit? I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So if you guys want me to talk about any other topics, you can leave a comment at the comment box down below. And yeah, let's chill and edit. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.